we're going to talk about every single book I read in 2025. It is currently January 2nd of 2026. I have zero memory of when I read these books because I basically don't remember half this year. I bought a lot of books this year and didn't read them, but towards the end of the year I really, locked in, put my seatbelt on, and just read the books. So we're gonna go over the books I know I 100% read this year and finished. I started a lot of longer, more literary study books. These are mostly, and I'm pretty sure these are all, okay, besides one, these are all fiction. So these are in no particular order of the books I read this year. First off, we're gonna start with Snuff by Chuck, the guy who wrote Fight Club. Okay. This book is basically about a woman who's gonna have sex with 600 men on camera, and she's like this well-known pornographic actress who's been around for a while, and it's about a group of men that are in the waiting room to go have sex with her. I thought it was incredibly relevant to when I was reading it, because when I was reading it, this is so crazy that this is like, I literally can relate this to something that I was seeing happen in real time, but the Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, like, who's the bigger, who can take more, like, I don't know how to word this correctly, but that was happening when I was reading this book. So whatever time, I know that was like literally happening. Okay, wait, no, it wasn't happening directly during that time. So when I was reading this book, I just finished the tail end of the whole Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, like, who is gonna take more, who's the bigger mattress actress, I guess you could say. That had all kind of blown over at that point on the internet, and I was reading this about how they're like, oh, it's like 600 guys, it's so many, nobody's ever done that before. And when did this book come out? I think this book was released in, like, let me find the copyright page. Okay, this book was released in 2008, so probably at the time, yeah, or when he was writing it, sometimes it takes a while to write books, I don't know, that was probably a lot, but it was so crazy to be like, that number now in the pornographic industry is like, whatever. Honestly, I was actually thinking about this book a few days ago because there was a very specific scene where I actually couldn't remember what this was from, if this was from like a movie or from like a book I'd read, and it was from this book. And it's it really got seared into my brain like a steak, of a guy urinating after losing his virginity. That's kind of the most I'm gonna say about that. It's kind of hard to talk about a couple of these these books like properly, I think is the word. But I really enjoyed this book. I think the characters of the men, if you've ever had an interaction with a man, you're like, oh, yeah, I know exactly who that is. Or I've even just seen a type like that on the internet, something like that. Oh, I completely missed a major plot point to discuss, which one of the guys is gonna kill her. Yeah, he wants to kill her. And like, one might be his son. One guy has taken like 27 Viagra pills. He's eating them like candy. I think it's a really fun read. It goes by really quick. It takes, it's only like 200 pages, I think, but it's from everybody's different perspective. It jumps from chapter to chapter. I just thought it was really good. I don't even know, I saw the cover and I really liked it. I like pop art like this, and like how you can't really tell, but like there are people inside of the letters. It looked really interesting, and then when I looked up who the author was and I realized it was the guy who wrote Fight Club, I was like, oh, I really need to read this. I definitely want to engage with more of his work. I really like his writing style. The only thing I have to relate it to is his Fight Club writing, but he definitely has a really specific style that I really personally like. The next book I read is Tampa, and this book is about a female pedophile. I also loved this book, which I don't think is something you're supposed to admit, but it was honestly, and the cover is really good. It was honestly incredibly refreshing for me. I have a very strong opinion about dislikable female characters, and people are always saying, okay, like people will say like Fleabag is an unlikable character, female character, which I don't agree with because everybody likes her. This was someone you're not supposed to support, you're not supposed to like. She's doing everything society goes against. And I'm not supporting her when I say this, but it was refreshing as hell. And just, okay, well maybe I am supporting her and being like, selfish women we love, okay? She's so, everything she does is to get what she wants, even if it makes her a little bit miserable. At the moment she's doing it, she knows, I'm gonna get what I want. There is a scene that probably was my favorite scene in the entire book that I just loved so much, where the father of the boy she is abusing, I guess is the word you would say, has a heart attack. She has also, like, I thought I just bled out over the carpet from my vagina. He has a heart attack, and she knows that if the dad dies, she will have more control over his son, over the boy she's abusing. And she just watches him die out, the life drain out of him in the hallway on the carpet. And there was a very specific line that I read it and I was like, oh, this woman. She says, it took everything in my power not to do a like snotty little like bye-bye. And I loved that so much. Like that one line really just encapsulated the whole character, that she's like, I'm not gonna kill him, but I'll watch him die out. Like this low-key manifestation genius. Okay, I gotta move on or it's gonna get, I don't support female pedophiles. I just really enjoyed this book. It was almost a comedy to me in a really twisted, fucked up way, but the writing was really good. The character was just, I think, one of the best you are not supposed to like this person character. And I loved the book. I'm sorry. Next book I read is Acts of Desperations. I'm pretty sure I need to cover, who cares actually, Acts of Desperation. So I'm gonna give a really brief, vague description of what I was going through at the time when I saw the cover of this book in Barnes & Noble. I was going through acts of desperation, I'll admit. And I was at Barnes & Noble with a friend at the time, and we were just walking down the aisles, and I saw this, and I said, me, and then I pulled the cover, and I saw the cover, because I just saw the spine, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really great cover, I love that. And then I read the cover, and it says, she's 23 and in love with love. He's older and the most beautiful man she's ever seen. The affair is quickly consuming. And I said, oh, I have to buy this, because all I'm gonna say is that pretty much just described exactly what I was going through at the time. And yeah, I read this book and it was all too familiar in kind of a way that made me sick. and disappointed in myself, which I am going to, everything I was going through was very fresh at the time, and relating it back to the book was just very, it was like, my vision was fogged. I don't feel like I can give an accurate description of this book. Almost everything that was going on after I read it, I blocked out of my memory. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terribly good, but I read it and I related to it. I thought the writing was a little gaudy, if that makes sense, but I definitely read this book. Conversation with friends. So similar topics, to say the least. That was unintentional. I probably read these 8 months apart. This was actually the last book I read of this year, and I kind of had to do it right after Acts of Desperation because it came at a time after I had accepted a lot of things that had happened to me. And not only accepted a lot of things that happened to me, but it also discovered new things about it. Yeah, I finished this on December 31st, and again, all too familiar, but I really like Sally Rooney's writing because it's just popular right now. However, damn bitch, use some punctuation marks. Punctuation? Use punctuation. Like, why do you not use it? Is it like an Irish thing? Okay, like, I don't know. Good book, but we know this because she's just a good writer. The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty. So, listen. Basically, instead of kissing Sleeping Beauty, she's Sleeping Beauty? Sleeping Beauty. She has to be awoken with like sexual initiation, I guess. Like, she has to be, I don't want to say raped, but that basically, yeah. I had no idea what to expect going into this. I didn't realize it was smut, which I don't like to read. Not because I don't enjoy smut, I do. It's because literary smut seems like a total joke to me, and that's not invalidating it. It's just I can't take it seriously when I read it because in my brain I'm going, this is just fan fiction. And if you write smut, good for you, girl, keep writing it, or man. But I don't search it out. That's not what I like to read. I do like disturbing sexual books, but this was just a little too much. Not in a way of I couldn't handle it. It just became a very repetitive process, and this is a series, and I have no desire to read the series. And the font is also small, and the book's not long, but I was a little, like, I just got tired at a certain point, and I was like, okay, she's getting flogged again, and oh, they're all naked again, and they're, like, crying again. It was, like, a lot. Well, there were some scenes, though, where, you know, I really appreciated I hate this person, but all of a sudden I have a strong desire to just, like, have them comfort me. And, you know, that was, like, I respected that. And I'm sure this goes into a lot more, but it wasn't for me. Okay, another next book I read was Kitchen Confidential. Love, absolutely, nothing else to say. I never worked in a high-end restaurant, but I have worked in restaurants, and yep, they're all the same. Everything he says is 100% true. I love Anthony Bourdain. My dad and I used to watch Parts Unknown. I feel like I just called it rip, but also real as hell. This book's just so good. He's a fantastic writing style. I really recommend this to anybody who wants a fun read, basically. Yeah, like, this book is just incredible. I love it. Not fiction, but just some stuff happens where you're like, that's so ridiculous, it almost seems like it could be fiction. And it's just so good. I love this book. I'll probably reread it eventually. Okay, I read Savage Spear of the Unicorn by Delicious Tacos. Okay, if you don't know who this author is, wouldn't be surprised, but he is like an online writer. And I discovered him from Caribbean Rhythms. Yeah. The BAP podcast. I think he was on Red Scare too. Is that bad to admit? Okay, I'm sorry. Years ago. I discovered him years ago. I only just got around to reading this book, but I read his other book, The Pussy. That was good. They're very similar. He has a very distinct writing style. He takes a lot of his stuff in the blog. If you read this and The Pussy back to back, you would think they were the exact same book, but they're not. It's a lot of fiction, but also you can tell he's talking about himself. You kind of don't know what actually happened and what's not. It's kind of written like, I don't know if you can see, but it's just like, it's pretty easy to get through. It's like stories. It is a great description of what it's like to be an addict to drugs, alcohol, and sex. Some people might not think it's good. I wouldn't say it's literary genius, but it's a very clear look into somebody's psyche, and that's what I appreciate about it. The first 3 books of the Southern Reach trilogy, this was the second to last books I read. Well, it's all one thing. I know there's a 4th book, but I'm probably not going to read that yet. I have a little too much literature to get through. If you can't see it, it's all, I have like 9 books I need to get through, which hopefully I get through them in the first 2 or 3 months of the year. So, oh wait, I think it was early. I have a lot of books I need to get through. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I read the first one and then I watched Annihilation. Well, Annihilation, and then I watched the movie Annihilation, and I was like, okay. And it kind of reminded me a bit of The Story of Your Life short story by Ted Chiang, and that's a really good short story, and you should read it. But I thought it was good. I weirdly really liked the character Control in Authority. Oh, I weirdly really liked the character Control in Authority. I thought he was weirdly charming. And then I absolutely loved everything about Ghostbird in Acceptance. I can't remember what the 4th book's called, but I will get around to reading it, just not right now. I am not a fan of science fiction or anything of the sort, or like fantasy novels. I find them quite tedious, and I don't like, and not tedious in a way I like, and tedious and like, I have to fucking imagine this like magic power happening, or like I have to imagine this like technology, like I'm not an engineer, you know? So I liked that I liked this, if that makes sense. It was easy to understand, but you don't understand it, but you understand that you don't understand it. Oh my god, and The Lighthouse Keeper. Bro, okay, wait, actually, I do love this series. And I think I already just said that, but like, I do really like this series, and I will read the 4th book, just not right now. And I hope they never make any more movies of it. Like, Annihilation was pretty much like, I think that's good, and that's all we need. It was just a good science fiction movie. But yeah, and I even joined the subreddit. I even joined the subreddit for these books. Like, I do really like these books. I think what I liked about it was cosmic horror, but nature and psychological torture, and eventually you get out of the nature after just Annihilation. You're no longer in Area X, you're in the outskirts of it, and you're in this government building the whole time, and you don't even really go into Area X ever in that book, but you are learning things about it. And then in Acceptance, you're then thrown full force into Area X when it's expanded even more, and more things are evolving, and time is fucking weird, and you never know what it is, and I don't ever want to know what it is. If they do just give me an explanation in the 4th book, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed, because I like how it's just, this is it. This is it. It's taking over and it's going to consume everything, and accept it. And I really like that. And I'm going to say something really cheesy, but it's like, they kind of first see Area X, it's going to annihilate everything. It's annihilating everything, which annihilation means something different in the book. And then they're trying to have this authority, like the second book. I sound so stupid right now. This authority over this thing they don't understand. They're trying to control it. They're trying to stop it and take control of it and just be like, this is what it is. They're trying to explain it. And then acceptance is, there is nothing you can explain. You're just here. Things are just happening. Even the small explanation you get from the biologist's letters is not explanation. It's her accepting it. And it's basically, jump in the river and let the current take you, okay? That's all you can do. Then try to fight it. And I think it's a really good book. So yeah, those are the books I know I 100% read this year. Like 8 books this year, but I started like probably 12. I want to make more of these videos. We'll see. And I'll probably get a better filming setup because I don't like that you can see my kitchen counter right there and my art desk, some of my drawing. I don't like that. I'll find a better setup. And I really enjoyed talking about these books. And I know I'm gonna read more in January because I don't know, I have a lust for life at the moment. That'll probably die down because that's what happens. But yeah, if you want to see more, let me know.